that there are some protests over this rail budget. Let's just cut across to that. Let's just cut across to these Congress protests that are taking place. Is that outside Mr. Gowda's home? Okay, so these are shots that are taking place outside Mr. Gowda's home where the Congress is protesting. Sandeep, you can hear me. So just take us through why the Congress is protesting outside Mr. Gowda's home. What are their objections to the budget that was announced just a short while ago?
Well, you know, Sarah, one interesting aspect of this budget, I would say, is that when the Railway Minister started speaking, he actually spent a considerable amount of time in trying to, point out what's wrong with the railways and why it's so bad. In the sense that how the situation has become so bad in the past 10 years, squarely trying to blame the UPA for mismanagement. He used that word mismanagement, and he also said that how nearly 110 projects were announced in the past 10 years and only one project has been completed. There are several projects that are going on for 30 years and still hasn't seen the light of the day. Interestingly, one of those projects, of course, come from my home state in Assam. So that's why the opposition, especially the Congress benches, were not too amused. They were very unhappy that, the Railway Minister actually tried to blame the UPA for the current state of affairs. And then he went on to say that even I can announce several new trains, but I wouldn't do that. I don't want claps. I actually want to focus on completing these projects. That's why he and that's how he sort of kept his budget speech, Sarah, though some contradictions in what he said, because at the end of the speech he did announce about 27 new trains, an extension of existing trains, taking it to about 50 odd trains. Also, there was no fare hike, perhaps not politically feasible to announce another fare hike at this stage, since they just had a fare hike, just a couple of, just about a week ago. And of course, they also said that that fare hike was originally conceived by the UPA government, but because they lost elections, they didn't do it. So we had to do it, given Railways' financial health. Also, of course, the other, the criticism from the opposition has come in that, apart from blaming UPA, Mr. Gowda focused a lot on public-private participation PPP model, as well as allowing FDI. I think that's come under a lot of criticism from several political parties, Sarah. Congress says so. Congress said that, why did the BJP oppose FDI in multi-brand retail so much, so vociferously, if they had to completely privatize the railway? There were a lot of protests inside from Trinamool. Trinamool felt that Bengal has got a very raw deal. Remember, Sarah, in UPA too, for the first 3 years, for the first 3.5 years actually, the railway portfolio was with Trinamool nominee. Mr. Dinesh Trivedi, Mukul Roy thereafter. So Trinamool was very, very upset as well with the fact that not too many projects were announced for railway for West Bengal. So that's been the reaction. I mean, depending on who you speak to. Of course, the BJP, a lot of MPs are very happy. They are saying that there are no false promises. This is a realistic budget, an achievable budget. The focus is essentially on to ensure safety, cleanliness, security, and eventually that will turn around the railways, in attributes that will eventually turn around the railways. But you are hearing these, or rather seeing these loud protests from Congress, as earlier I interviewed Rajiv Shukla, one of the senior leaders, and Congress certainly felt that Congress-ruled states have not got enough in terms of either new projects or rail or new trains. Likewise, Trinamool argued the same. And most of these opposition parties have been arguing that the focus has been either Maharashtra, that goes to polls later this year, where BJP Sena is, currently seems to be the hot favorite, and also the focus has been down south. Karnataka, of course, is the home state of the Railway Minister, so a lot of things announced for Karnataka as well as other South Indian states. Sarah.
All right, so allegations that Congress ruled states getting stepmotherly treatment, also questions being raised about how exactly this public-private partnership will work in the railways going forward. We'll continue to bring you constant coverage of the Modi government's new rail government. We're just showing you shots right now of the Congress party protesting outside the home of the railway minister. They're upset because the railway minister in his speech basically blamed the state of affairs of the Indian Railways today on the previous 10 years of UPA rule.